Welcome to New Life Live with host and founder of New Life Ministries, Stephen Arterburn. New Life Live is dedicated to transforming lives one at a time, thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's Steve.
Hi, everybody. If you're watching on Facebook Live, you know that I'm busy. I'm trying to put a picture frame back together. All right, we'll let that go for a minute. Welcome to New Life Live. So
Steve.
glad.
Focus, Steve.
Focus. Yeah, I've never had a problem. I was preaching the other week. I said, my wife's worst day is I wake up in the morning and go, what a beautiful day. I think I'll skip my medication, just see what happens. Yeah. I need all the help I can get. Well, joining me today is, of course, Milan, Yerkovich, Dr. Jill Hubbard. Last time we were on, it was Monday. And I forgot to mention that this movie we've been talking about, I Still Believe, was number one at the box office. Did you go see it?
We ventured out and wiped down our seats, to a matinee. Oh my gosh, my son and I, we bawled our eyes out, but it was so good.
Well, and here's the thing, it is so good, and it didn't be number one because nobody went to the movies and made $1 million. It was $9.5 million in sales on a weekend that a lot of people weren't going, and so really excited about that because it is a great movie, and I hope people go see it. I Still Believe. Maybe theaters are shutting down and you might have to do it online or somehow. I don't know how that works, but
the matinee
anyway,
was sparse.
Don't forget about that movie. It really was amazing. And I don't know, it says here that I need to share this. I don't know if I've done it before. But a couple weeks ago, I was asked to be one of the 7 speakers at Promise Keepers this summer. And July 31st, August 1st, there at Dallas Cowboys Stadium. And I am so excited to get to do that. And I hope that if you're listening and you've got a men's group, the virus in the warmer temperatures, I was listening to Dr. Oz this morning, they tend to not last very long, and of course they die out. And but I'm expecting that this thing's going to be under control, or nobody's going to be in Texas Stadium. But if we show up, I'm going to be there. I get to speak. I'm so thrilled about getting to speak at Promise Keepers. Look into it. Go to their website, promisekeepers.com or .org. Just Google Promise Keepers. That's the main thing. Hey, let's go to the calls. Let's find a caller, and let's go right now. Let's talk to Leroy from Los Angeles, KKLA. Leroy, I recognize that name. You were with us last weekend, weren't you? Leroy. He's not there. Well, I tried to. Is he there?
Try again.
I can hear you.
Oh, great.
Okay, we got you now.
We got you, Leroy.
There you are.
You are the Leroy that was at Finding Freedom, right?
That's correct.
Well, did you find it?
Briefly for a second. Yeah,
Did you?
Finding Freedom. I'll tell you what I did find. I found what I need to do is do the next right thing.
That's not a bad thing to go through like that.
That's going to lead me on the path to freedom. Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I'd like to share about the weekend. That was my first intensive, and I've been to your ministries, before, and I think you guys always come there, and you guys are so humble and patient and loving towards everybody who shows up and encouraging. And we broke up into small groups, and like guys always say, that's where the work is done. Over the few days, obviously, the longer we spent time together, the more comfortable we became around each other, more vulnerable, and we were sharing things about, the hurts, because everybody has a hurt. We all have that common denominator, everybody in the room. Yep. And that's where the healing begins. And there were, tears shed, and just, that vulnerability and being open to each other is how the healing begins.
Okay, hold on. I want to hear some more, Leroy. We got to go to this break, and I can't stop it.
For years, all I did was focus on my husband, and my needs were unmet because of his sexual addiction. The counselors focused on him, and all the books I read were about him and how to help him.
My name is Shelly Martinkus, and I want to personally invite you to the Restore Workshop. If you have been affected by betrayal, it might be that your husband has been looking at pornography, it might be an emotional, physical affair. I would love for you to come join us.
This weekend gives me permission to now focus on me.
You will leave with hope, with a community of sisters ready to support you, and you will also leave with tools to move you forward on this journey.
I am so thankful to New Life for giving me what I know now is going to be a new life.
The Restore Workshop is coming to Dallas June 26th through the 28th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to find out more. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back, and before we go to other callers, we're talking to Leroy. He was at Finding Freedom, first intensive experience he had been to. But you were talking about how you got in the group and you were dealing with the hurts that we all have.
That's correct. I think as Christians, we think that, just because we're born again, that everything just sort of goes away, and that's not really how it works. We're going to heaven. We have the victory, and we won the war, but down here on earth, we're not winning the battles. We're not reaching our family and our friends because we still are broken people, and we're unable to live the Christian life. Even though we preach the gospel, people don't see it.
Right.
And I think that's what Finding Freedom is all about. It's about the freedom to live the life that Christ died for you to have. And then, the evangelism takes care of itself. People want, when you have something that they see attractive, then they're going to gravitate towards you.
Wow. That's cool.
Leroy, I want to ask you one final question. You've never been to an intensive. What was it that inside of you said, I'm finally going to do that. I'm going to go to an intensive. What was it? Do you remember what it was that said, okay, I'm going. I'm just going to do this? Well, believe it or not, somebody called me on the phone and invited me. Is that right? That's what it was. I mean, I support New Life. It's easy to, say rah, rah, rah and cheer, but, the bills have to be paid. Yeah. And people need to understand that, you guys are not getting rich. I've been watching you guys for many years now, and you guys, make $1 out of a nickel, basically. And Larry Sonnenberg does that for all of us. Yeah. I just want to encourage everybody. Everybody just throws in $5 a month. I'm sure it would make a big difference. You don't have to give big money, but you need to show up. You're getting something. Thank you for that encouragement to everybody. I am so thankful. Glad I got to meet you. I'm really glad that you came, and I hope somebody that's never been, because they hear your story, that they might decide to go, and I hope someone that's never given before, I hope and pray that maybe they'll give. God bless you, and hope our paths cross again really soon. He was just one of those wonderful people that came and joined us last weekend for this great experience, Finding Freedom with Chris Williams. And if you've ever thought about maybe you just need to work on a few things, come to the next one. It's really going to be a great time. All right, let's go and talk with Eileen, Tustin, California, KKLA. Hi, Eileen. How are you today?
Hi, Steve. Hi, good morning. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for taking my call and putting me on air. I have to consult all you wise souls about a situation I'm in. I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend for the past half year. He fell in love with me 2013 March, the first time we met at church. And he was on his knee. He was proposing. and I took it as a joke. And then all these years, we haven't really kept in touch. We worked together for arts festivals, inviting me to sing that shortly after we met. And until last year, the end of August, we kept in touch again, and we've been seeing each other. And in this relationship, he's madly in love with me, but there are issues. And I'm reading your books, and there are issues like controlling, jealousy, lack of security, always asking me, who do you belong to? And if I say Jesus, he's not content with that. He's a Christian, okay? And I would have to say I'm his. And he would always ask me, do you love me? So these are the issues of controlling, jealousy, lack of security, and I'm a peace lover, and I really try to live at peace with everyone. I hardly have any contact with anyone. But with him, it's been just a lot of, it's gotten very heated, and sometimes we have very heated arguments. So I need clarity.
What's the question for us then? What's the question for us then?
My question is it, and I need clarity, should I go on with the relationship, or I've actually called it off many times with him, but he wouldn't let go.
Okay.
So he has trouble respecting boundaries as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with Milan here, and Milan, what are you thinking here when you? First of all, when you hear about a guy that meets someone, gets on their knees, and proposes right like that, wow, that's something.
Well, this is a person who has lots of intensity and struggles to regulate their emotions, okay? So they don't know what to do. It's intense, it's so quick, it's so fast, and it's premature. It's not wise, but it's intense. And so he'll intensely fall in love. He'll intensely fear losing you, and he'll intensely be angry if you threaten or he feels threatened in any way. And so it's a very intense person. He has a history that has created this intensity of fear. And I would simply say that you're making great observations. This is maybe, so far, Eileen, this is my favorite phone call of the whole year because, I'll tell you why, because I ask people all the time, did you do your homework? Did you stop and really assess, is this a good choice to make? We talked to somebody on Monday, Jill, who she was the fifth wife. And how did she figure out whether she should or shouldn't? Right. And I love, Eileen, that you're doing this. And so I would put up the red flags. I would tell him you have to work on the issue of regulating your emotions. They're too fast. They're too severe. Mm-hmm. And the fact that is the case scares me. So, Jill?
No, I like that. So instead of just, should I break up and walk away, because that just is more of the all or nothing. Mm-hmm. It's like, this is what I'm proposing to you, boyfriend. I care about you. I obviously have been with you for 6 months, and I see something here, but the level of intensity is too much for me. Exactly what you said. So if you really, want us to work and care about me like you say you do, then let's go to work and figure out how do we meet better in the middle and not this all or nothing, because this isn't good for a lifelong partnership.
Mm-hmm. So a person like this can intensely love, intensely fear, intensely be angry, and then wait for it, ready? They can intensely hate.
Yes.
You see, when they've turned a corner,
I'm ready for it.
When they turn a corner,
then
they go all dark. And so this is this is a person that I want to stay away from until they're working on themselves.
Yeah,
they have to recognize
Eileen,
that.
Quick question, Eileen.
Yeah.
Let's don't focus on the negative for a second here. But if those things, that intensity, that controlling, that thing that may even turn to hate, if that wasn't there, what are the qualities in him that you do like about him?
Oh, he is very, very caring, very responsible. I mean, he said a few times, he said, I would die for you. And there are things that he would do to take care of me, to make sure that I'm taken care of. That's the part.
That's good enough. That's all I needed. So here's what I would do if I were you. let's say his name was Bucky, okay, just to depersonalize it.
Okay.
You would say, Bucky, I want you to know that I think you're one of the most caring people in the world. Even though your name is Bucky, you're caring, and you're also so responsible. It's really amazing to me what a responsible person you are. And one of the things that was so touching is that you said you would die for me. Wow. I don't know that anybody's ever said that. I'm going to ask you to do something different than die for me, though. I'm going to ask you to do something that requires you to live for our relationship in a different way. Because your intensity, your anger, even your controlling, it shuts down all of that caring stuff and that responsible stuff. So I don't want you to die for me. I want to see if you'd be willing to do something where we could one day have a future of living together. So we both need to get some help. We both have stuff. But I'm wondering if you'd be willing to get some help to work on the negative things that are really troubling me, the controlling stuff, the intensity, the anger. And then he's got a choice to make. He's either going to say, okay, I will, or he's going to come up with some excuses of why he wouldn't. And I think that's your answer. Be patient with him if he's willing to go to work. But if he's not willing to work, then I think you have to say, this is not the one for me. Milan, you have another thought?
Well, all
on
his
this?
highly responsible behavior is another way to be controlling.
Yeah.
Because, and we must guard ourselves against people who say, well, I'll take care of it. I'll plan that. And I'm going to do this. And then, don't worry, I'll handle all the details. I've seen fatal attraction stories begin just like that. And so we have to be aware of the level of control a person wants to have over a relationship.
Okay, so you're just going to encourage him to get some help. I think that is such a great way to do it.
Oh, I love it,
versus
Steve.
Walk away from him, and because he just might like you enough to be motivated to get some help. But if you just desert him, then maybe he's, oh well.
Well, and you're really calling his idealism into check a bit, right? When you say, okay, you'll die for me, okay, that's an easy thing to throw out, and that's pretty intense. But will you do things short of dying for me?
Yeah, like
right?
grow for me. Would you grow for me?
Yeah, would you grow for me? If you die for me, would you grow for me?
But you know what, Steve, used the word deserted a moment ago. Odds are that Eileen's boyfriend, Bucky, has abandonment in his theme or places of deep hurt.
Fear.
Therefore, he's holding closely to prevent from being hurt again. And that's where he needs to do his work.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to send you a couple of things. One, I'll send you, is this the one? And that's a great book to kind of help you through a dating process and determine if this is the right guy. Secondly, I'm going to send you a book for him, and it's entitled Every Man, God's Man. And that's a great little plan for growth. And I'm going to give you something else to give him, and that's Every Man's Bible. It is a great tool for men that want to get deeper into the Bible. It's just made to make it easy. Okay, that's coming to you. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Anybody else interested in that? You know, Jill, Dr. Hubbard here, has written a great, wonderful book. Many books, but Forgiving Our Fathers and Mothers is one that I'm thinking. We're approaching Mother's Day and Father's Day coming up here. You can order that and get that and read that while you're have a little extra time, not going to sporting events and things like that. And then, you know, I really believe this to be true. If every Christian would read Boundaries, their life would be so much better. And if every Christian would read How We Love, it just would give you, those two books would give you a different way to live. And then read C.S. Lewis' Mere Christianity, and you'd understand your faith in a different way. Those three things with the Bible, you could have a transformed life. Because here's the thing, if you read them, you're not going to be satisfied just to read. You're going to go get involved in a group, you're going to get a counselor, you'll come to one of our intensives. But those are gifts that are available to you, that are wisdom-based. And I'm so grateful that I got to experience the wisdom that came out of how we love. I've said many times, Jill's one of the wisest women ever. And if you look at her books, it's there. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and get one of those resources and read that during your downtime, during the coronavirus, whatever we call this thing. But really, these books are life changers. So call us, get one. I'll tell you about some things we'll do if you support us to thank you. But do yourself a favor and read some material you've never read before during this time, and God will use it. He'll bless you. All right, we'll take a break. 1-800-NEW-LIFE if you want to order a book.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit it's addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have Christ-centered partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addictions, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
You guys are awesome. You're a blessing to America.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in the biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first step toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, please call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433.
We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. Steve Arterburn here. And, you know, one of the sad things about the coronavirus thing that's going on is that you can get distracted. You've got a lot of things to distract you and not do the work you need to be doing on yourself. So, you know, at least take 30 minutes a day in all of this and just pull yourself away from everything and say, okay, let's focus here, or let's do some meditation, and let's use some of this time. But don't get obsessed with it. Stay in touch with things, but don't let it distract you from the very, very important things of life. All right, let's go to Emily. Let's see. Emily's from Lakewood, California. We have an app. She listens to it there, the New Life app. Hi, Emily. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Hopefully you guys can give me some advice into the matter that I'm going through right now.
Hey, what is it?
I've been married for 14 years. My husband and I have been battling like crazy for the past 4. We just don't know how to communicate anymore. I think we lost respect for one another in the marriage. For me, I have allowed myself to get so angry to where, you know, sometimes I feel like getting physical with him, and I have, you know, slapped him before for calling me out my name. and I don't like the person that I'm turning into. And I don't know, he just feels like he's always right, that I'm always doing everything wrong, and that I push him to do so many wrongful things to me, and it's always my fault. It's always me, but he never takes accountability.
What a horrible way to live. Well, that's just horrible. And I'm so sorry that's the way it's turned out.
Yes. I really don't know what other page to turn. Should I just get counseling? He's asking for a divorce, which I told him it's okay if that's what he wants, because I'm just tired. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm drained, basically. And every time we fight, he throws a divorce thing. So I just told him, if that's what you want, the doors are open. You can walk out. But I cannot tolerate this anymore, because you're putting me wrong everywhere. You know, he talks bad about me to his family. His family don't want to help him either, as far as this voices he hears in his head, and I don't know what else to do.
Emily, what happened 4 years ago? What happened to change things 4 years ago?
Well, he started drinking more. He started a new job where he would hang out with new coworkers that were drinking after work. He started drinking a lot every weekend, and then he started using drugs. He calls it recreational, like on a weekend basis or whenever he hangs out with his buddies. But I feel like since he already has some kind of problem, like he hears voices and he doesn't want to get help because he feels like it's not right as a man to go get help, because there's nothing wrong with him. So that ended up into him cheating. And then after that, we separated. We got back together because he was, remorseful.
Yeah.
All of this just took a toll in our relationship. To me, it's just more, if it's just the door for God to tell me this is over, or for me to just fight for my marriage. But he's one of those people that when you tell him you're right on certain things that I know I shouldn't be doing, he takes it like a trophy and he belittles me more, and he's just very aggressive verbally.
All right. So let's see what Jill has to say. What do you think,
Well,
Jill?
Emily, unfortunately, you're not even dealing with the person that you married. It sounds like the alcohol and drugs have taken over, and that, that becomes a way of self-medicating whatever mental illness issues he has. And it just sounds like it's gotten worse. So, I always hate for people to turn to divorce as the first solution. So have you guys gotten, you're saying he's unwilling, but have you gotten any help thus far?
I was having counseling 2 years ago. I started first, and he started going with me. But after the counselor told him that everything that I was doing was provoking him to be the way he is, he said, okay, I'm done. I knew I was right, and that was the end of it.
Oh, boy. Okay. So, what do you think? What's the best thing for her to do now?
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that happened, that somehow he was validated in the process. And in a marriage, regardless of, who's right and who's wrong, there still needs to be help to get through things. And so I think if he's unwilling, I think it's important for you to go and get help, to have somebody walk through you in making these decisions. But this has gotten to a really volatile place. And so something different needs to happen, because it's not going to change on its own, Emily.
Emily, it's always it's always two people.
It always
You see, both people bring negative and positive things to the relationship. So you may really need to also stop and ask yourself the question, is there any element of truth to what I heard from the therapist? Do I do some things that I can learn to grow in, and perhaps wherever I'm at be more healthy or more relationally skilled? But I agree with Jill. You have to get help to help you know what to do. And we'll be back right after this break. And but hold on the line.
Really glad you called.
My wife had found me out through my past and my sexual addiction since I was a small child. It really gave me the opportunity to start digging into my past, start digging into my childhood, figure out what was causing me to feel the way I was feeling. Every Man's Battle will really give you that opportunity because all the guys there in that room are there for the exact same reason you're there. I don't want to be the reason that my kids are going to counseling. I don't want to be the reason that they begin to struggle with the same issues that I'm struggling with, and I've got to put an end to this. Yes, you can be different. God does love you. You can be forgiven for this, and there's a way out of this. But you have to acknowledge that you have to change, and that there's a problem.
If you're struggling, call us. There are people on the other end of the line who want to hear from you, who want to help you. We don't want you to hand down something to another generation that just looks like pain and destruction. You can hand down redemption, but you got to take that first step. Just give us a call. It's 1-800-639-5433. It's 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I turned on New Life, and the topic that day was about anxiety. And just by listening, I got relief.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the Transformation Welcome Gift, which includes a personal-sized Life Recovery Bible, a Life Recovery Journal, and 5 Life Recovery Workbooks. Plus, there are ongoing benefits like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops.
I did go to Take Your Life Back. That's been immensely helpful to me. That's why I continue to support the ministry with the hope that not only am I helping my own situation, that I'm helping others as well.
Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We are back. We've been talking with Emily, and when a man is unfaithful and then we don't take drastic effort there to do something to respond in that, and if the woman is unfaithful also, there is a need for us to demand change, radical change, because if we're not going to demand it, that they get help after they have broken the marital vows, then you pretty much are giving them the message, there's nothing you'll ever do that will cause me to demand anything of you. And so do we want to file for divorce because we think divorce is always the answer when someone's unfaithful? No, we don't. In fact, for many people, it actually creates an environment where the first real marriage begins. Mm-hmm. But if you think that if somebody says, oh, he was unfaithful or she was unfaithful, forgive them and move on. That doesn't change the other person's character. In fact, it feeds into the character defects if you provide instant excusing of the offense. So we want to hold them accountable. Otherwise, we end up with years of misery rather than if we did what we could have done at the moment of crisis, it could have produced years of a different impact. 1-800-NEW-LIFE if you need some help figuring out what to do if somebody's hurt you. Or maybe you've hurt somebody and you need to get some help. You need to figure out, how do I get beyond this? 1-800-NEW-LIFE. It's also the number to call if you can help us. And here in the studio to talk about that's Larry Sonnenberg. Hey, Larry.
Steve. Thanks a lot. Our message isn't any different. We're still helping people. We're still want to share with everybody just the fabulous work that happens through the Holy Spirit when we do our workshops and this radio program in the offices of network counselors. But there's a little bit of a different edge to it right now just because of the coronavirus issue that's going on. And there's a lot of uncertainty out there. And I loved what I read that a rabbi did recently, and he said we've lost our illusion of certainty. We never had it to begin with. And so I just, in all of this uncertainty, we've had to cancel a workshop, and there could be more, but I hope there isn't, because that, in addition to serving and helping, and people find a new life, they find a new beginning. We depend upon that for some of the revenue, because we have a lot of expenses against that, and now we'll have cancellation expense. So we just need some help, and we need you to join Club New Life. We just had last weekend a workshop, Finding Freedom, that was incredible. It was an amazing workshop, and in spite of all the uncertainties, a lot of people showed up. You and Chris were there. You did amazing work with your talks, and the breakthroughs that happened in those workshops were fabulous.
I want to mention something, Larry.
Yeah.
We could have canceled that workshop, and as we called people, I mentioned this the other day, they said, we were calling them to welcome them, and they would say, "Oh, please don't cancel." One of the people that was there Sunday Sunday was the anniversary.
Yeah.
5-year anniversary of her missionary parents being killed as missionaries
in Iraq. Yeah.
And she was there to do more work in the grieving process and the trauma that had caused. They were very close to her, and I'm, if nothing else, I'm grateful that we were there for her. I think it just made such a difference. And there are situations that we're not aware of that are maybe even more severe, more tragic. But that's what we're here for. We're not here to just help people think positively or to be in a better mood. There's a lot on the line here. And every dollar that you've spent to support this ministry, we've tried to do the best we could with it so that we would be doing this now 31 years later, so that somebody could come to a workshop on the 5th anniversary of the tragic death of their parents. So just help us continue to do that. We're not going to go away. This virus isn't going to sink this ministry, but you help us to get through it in the best shape possible.
Steve, I want to tell one other story real quick. There was a man in a group this weekend, and he was the second one to share and disclose in his group. And he did that because the first gentleman that shared told him that it was okay to do that. He felt safe. And he said to me yesterday, "I shared something in that group that I thought I was going to go to my grave with." That's and it just changed everything for him. And so, folks, if you could please help support us so we can keep doing this. We believe God wants it, and we're sure it's going to happen. So thank you.
Call us 1-800-NEW-LIFE, and we just can't thank you enough for helping us out. Let's go to Paul, Atlanta, Georgia, the New Life app's where he listens. Hi, Paul. How are you today?
Good. How are you, Steve?
Doing okay. What's going on?
Yes. Well, I'm thankful y'all didn't cancel the appointment. The conference last week, because I was attending as alumni. I went 10 years ago, and it was a great conference, and I didn't follow the steps that I should have followed. And now 10 years later, after 28 and a half years of marriage, I'm newly divorced, and it's been very painful, and all this happening during the birth of my 4th grandchild, and lost 15 pounds, and just I was losing my mind. I was spiraling out of control. That I felt like a caged animal on rabies, and I didn't know how to react, and I couldn't believe she was doing this. And it was very devastating. So, after going to the conference, I was wondering, wanted to do a full disclosure to give healing, to her and to me to help. And I was wondering, even though we're divorced, should I do that? And I don't know if she'd be willing to do it, but
Okay.
That's where I am.
Milan, do you have any, as we go through, do you have any questions you want to ask about that before we help him make that decision?
Well, I think if you're in a primary relationship with someone, as you are with your wife, even if you're divorced, you still are parents together, and you're still grandparents together. And as even though the legal definition of marriage is in question now, I think full disclosure is a road to healthiness, to growth, to the potential of the highest, most optimal level of relationship we can have. And so I would endorse full disclosure almost 99.9% of the time as a means of clearing and also helping the other person off the hook and giving them relief. A lot of times people prosecute a case, but when we confess, they no longer have to prosecute. Does that make sense? And they can relax and be relieved because they know that you see perhaps what they see. So I would, not knowing it very much, but knowing just a teeny bit, that would be a general principle that I think is a very helpful principle.
And let me just say this. One of the things that goes well with full disclosure is when you're able to say, even though you're divorced and there may be no, or almost divorced and no chance for reconciliation, when you're able to say, this is the most regrettable thing I've ever done, or however you do it when you disclose it fully. And then when you're able to say, and I want you to know, I'm working with a counselor. I'm going to a recovery group. I'm in a men's Bible study. Life is not the way it was for me. That has so much credibility versus a person that you confess to can get the idea you just wanted to get it off your back. You just wanted to relieve some guilt or something, versus it's part of a total character change. So anytime we can also throw in what we're doing, it proves to them I didn't just make a mistake then, but I know from that mistake I needed to make some big changes. Let me do something for you, Paul. I'm glad you called. Let me send you a copy of the of Every Man's Bible, and I want to send you a book on a sexual addiction, and it's just a great, wonderful book that can help you deal with sexual addiction. It's a little bit different than Every Man's Battle, but it's going to help you kind of complete the recovery program. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. If you need a resource, if you need help, we're here. We have counselors, we have intensives. We'll be out of this isolation, social distancing soon. And when we are, what a great thing to come and join us face to face with people that want to help you. We'll be back after this.
She said, we need to talk. She's asked me for the first time if I would consider myself a sex addict. You know, I thought it was just about admitting the things that I had done wrong. I never had a clue that it was about redeeming our story. You know, I thought it was just about coming clean on what I had done. I had no idea how to help her with her pain. She was a mess, I was a mess, and we got divorced. Going to EMB, surrounding myself with these other men, they accepted me for who I was and what I'd done, but they challenged me to step up and do better. You know, they'll be around other men who are not just pointing the finger, but willing to get in and wade through it with them, you know, get in the trenches. They'll get hope from this workshop. Take my sweet wife and my story. We were divorced, remarried, and on our way to what I think will be the sweetest years of our lives. You know, it's no longer simply about surviving. For the first time ever, you know, we're thriving, we're enjoying where we're at.
Hey, listen, if you're struggling, we want to see you at the workshop. Give us a call, 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again.
You seem to be able to get to the crux of a problem quickly.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for you and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Just call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 1-800-639-5433.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. Steve Arterburn here. Really hope and pray that you'll help us in all that we're doing here. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Hope that you'll let us help you if you need any kind of help. We really do want to be there for you. We've got a Life Recovery Conference coming up in Maryland. My wife's going to speak at that with me, along with a bunch of other great people. June the 6th in Gaithersburg, Maryland, 12 Steps to Happier. And Restore is going to be in June 26th. We're expecting all of this stuff's going to be out of the way. Intimacy in Marriage, July the 24th. But there are therapists, Christian counselors, committed to God's truth and to helping you. And they want to help you. And all you have to do to get that help is just call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE, and we'll connect you with them. Let's go to Edgar, Olympia, Washington. Edgar watches us and listens on NRB. Hi, Edgar. How are you? How can we help?
Okay. I think I'm doing okay, but I'm not sure. I'm really stressed out. I have a mate, a wife, that we've been married for 2 years. I am much older than her. I am going through some health issues, so when I married her, because she's much younger, she was able to take care of me, and not take care of me, but be a help to me when I think I needed help. But now,
how old are you, and how old is she? How old are you, and how old is she?
She's 52. I am 78.
Uh-huh.
And she goes to work, and I stay home. She can't believe that a man as attractive as I am, she says, would stay home all day long. I must have some other woman that I see, that I bring to the house or that I go to their place. The thing is, she knows by my lifestyle, I don't go anywhere. I don't go by myself anywhere. I'm in bed every single day and night.
Okay.
When I wake up in the morning, she's with me. When I go to bed, she's with me. So I can't understand how she could continue to think logically that I could do that.
Well, let's see if Jill or Milan can
Perhaps
get to the
it's
heart
not
of this thing.
logical.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Just give me a second.
Right? So perhaps it's not logical, and I'm wondering, you guys have only been married 2 years. What is her past like? Has she been cheated on in the past? Has she been betrayed? She has. So you're getting the brunt of that.
Yeah.
Right? And especially if I don't know how much help she's received for working through that hurt and pain.
She has not received any help.
Okay.
She doesn't seek help.
Okay.
She's innocent as an angel. When she condemns me and I yell at her because I can't take it, I say, I can't take it anymore. I want you to calm down and think of what you're doing.
So
I say to her, I'm not even thinking of what you say.
Okay, but Edgar, it's not about you defending yourself. It's about you leaning in and saying, sweetheart, I am so sorry for all the people who have hurt you. And I want you to know that just like you've taken care of me with my physical ailments, I want to be here for you and help you through these emotional ailments that you have. And we can deal with this together, but I'm here for you. You lean into her, you touch her, physically touch her, right? And let her know how much your heart breaks for her, that she has experienced so much pain. Because it's about her broken heart and what has happened to her that's getting projected onto you. Like she can't believe someone wouldn't cheat on her or hurt her.
Right.
Right?
Because
So
all of
everything
our past-
incites her paranoia about that. And so you have to be different. If you're defending you, then you're guilty in her mind, right? Because you're missing her. So you have to lean into her and make it about her and offer to be with her in that and offer to even go with her to get some help. Let's go talk to somebody who knows about these issues so that you can tell her so that I know better how to be a comfort to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there is another issue that I didn't mention, and that is she believes that demons or spiritual people are able to move from one body to the other and molest her. While we're intimate, she thinks somebody else is entering her body and preventing her from enjoying a relationship in a sexual way.
Okay. Milan, what do you think? What do you think would be the best path he could take that maybe she would get some help for that kind of thinking or fear? What do you think?
Well, Edgar, anybody that begins to talk like that and have a belief system like that has undoubtedly been traumatized.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And with that trauma in their histories, you can yell and scream and tell her to stop the accusations all you want. But Jill was really on to something important.
Yeah.
If you say to her, wife, you're scared, but you're speaking out of your own trauma, and I care that you hurt. This is what Jill, I have the exact same thoughts that Jill does, to lean into her, but with identifying her emotions. Mm-hmm. There's so much fear. Yeah. There is so much, Jill used the word paranoia. There is a jaded reality. She actually maybe believes these things literally, and she needs help for that. But it's also because of her trauma. She needs to see a traumatologist, somebody who specializes in trauma and trauma recovery. And that would be, that's your daily response to her. Your daily response. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's get to a trauma therapist. Let's get to a trauma therapist.
Yeah. I tell you, I wish I had more. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there someone like that in my area?
Sure.
Yeah, hold on. We're going to try to connect you with a person that can help you in that area. One of the things that I was sharing at our weekend, our Finding Freedom weekend, is that sometimes you hear about certain things like a specialist in the area of trauma, and you think, well, they didn't have trauma therapists back in New Testament days. Well, they didn't have dentists either. So, but I think they're a really good idea. So you just, we've developed some things that help us deal with some of the worst, most difficult things. And I'm so glad that she's found someone that is faithful to her. And I want her to get help so that she can enjoy a relationship where the guy is being faithful. So we'll ask everybody to pray for them. I'm going to ask you to pray for New Life too and help us continue to do this. This is a really interesting time and a tough time. And I know many of you, it's caused some financial difficulty or worries. And I just want you to know that God is faithful. And sometimes things get stripped away and we're just down to us and the people we love and God. And then we've got to, after it's all stripped away, we find our way back. And God's there for us all along the way. But you might think, oh my goodness, I don't have anybody to talk to. I'm worried about this, or I don't know how I'm going to handle this. Why don't you just call us and let us just talk you through some things. We're always there, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. If we're not in the office, we'll call you back because we want to be there for you when you need us the most. I'll ask God to give you a spirit of strength and hope and power. And I'll also ask God to help you to remember to wash your hands and just stay safe. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Milan. Thanks to all of you that listen, watch, and support. God bless you. Have a great day. God loves you.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Hi, Steve Arterburn here. Thanks for watching New Life Live on our New Life YouTube channel. You know, you can see it anytime. Hope you'll subscribe, and when you do, hope you'll turn that little button thing on, the bell, so that whenever we post a new video, it'll ring right through. Now, if you go to newlife.com, you'll see the schedule of when we're in the studio, which is helpful to know if you have a question for the program, or you could go to newlife.com or call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. You could do this on the app. I mean, there's so many ways that you can stay in touch with us and know when we're there, because we want to answer your questions. So thanks for watching right here on the New Life YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time. Click here to subscribe.